Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing reading Animorphs number 7, The Stranger, by K.A. Applegate. Woot! Ah, jeez. What's for dinner? I asked my mom as soon as I got home. The walk in the woods had made me hungry. Being outdoors always does that to me. So does fear. I just kept picturing the Yerk pool. The cages full of involuntary hosts, humans and orc pajirs, temporarily free of their Yerk parasites. I kept hearing them crying. That's what most of them did while they waited to be reinfested. Others screamed. Some begged for mercy. Or worse. My mom was sitting by the kitchen counter. She was more dressed up than she usually was in the evening. She was munching nervously on some Doritos and kind of staring off into space. Mom? Hello? She looked like she hadn't noticed me. Oh, hi, honey. What's for dinner? I'm starving. Your father's coming over tonight for dinner. He said he would pick something up. I felt my stomach clench. Something was wrong. Since the divorce, my dad never came over for dinner. My two sisters and I spent one weekend a month overnight at his apartment in the city, plus the every other weekend outing. But he did not come over for dinner. I wasn't hungry anymore. What's going on? I demanded. My mother got this worried look on her face, which she tried to hide. Your father has something he wants to tell you, girls. He was supposed to tell you the other night at the circus. I guess he forgot. The way she said, I guess he forgot, made it clear she didn't think that was the truth. I took my mother's arm. Mom, I don't like suspense, all right? So just... The doorbell rang. I heard Sarah running down the stairs. I heard Jordan yell, "Stop running on the stairs. You'll break your neck." She sounded just like my mother. It almost made my mom and me smile. That will be your father. I went to the front room. Sarah was leaping into my dad's arms, and Jordan was hovering a couple feet away. Jordan shot a quick, questioning glance at me. Unlike Sarah, Jordan was old enough to realize something was up. I shrugged and shook my head. "Rachel!" my dad said. "How's my girl? Come on, take this bag from me. Thai food. We have curry. We have pad thai. We have chicken satay. We have those imperial, heavenly, whatever they call them, shrimp." He handed me the paper bag. He was being too cheerful. My father's a reporter for one of the local TV channels. He does a lot of investigative journalism. Plus, he anchors the news on Saturday and Sunday. So he's always wearing nice clothes and always has great hair. And he looks tan even in the total depths of winter. I took the bag to the dining room table and started to unpack the little white box of Thai food. "Hello, Dan," my mother said, coming into the room with plates and silverware. "Naomi," he answered. "How have you been?" By now, even Sarah had figured out that this was not going to be a happy evening. We ate a little and struggled along with some small talk about nothing. Until finally my mom said, "Dan, just get it over with." My dad looked embarrassed. He sent me a sheepish smile, like some boy caught doing something wrong. Okay," he said. He cleared his throat. He sat up straight in his chair, just as if he were waiting for the cameras to come on so he could do the evening news. "Kids, I have something I have to tell you about. I've been offered a job, a better job. I wouldn't just be the weekend anchor, I would have the top spot. I'd be anchoring the 6 o'clock broadcast and the 11 o'clock. And I'd get to do specials, maybe do some really important work." Jordan looked at me confused. It sounded like good news. There's just one problem," my father said. It's not here in town. In fact, it would mean I would have to move." "Where to?" Sarah asked. "To another apartment?" He forced a smile. "To another city, sweetie. In another state. 1,000 miles away," my mother said. You know, it's funny how the mind works. See, I've been through more bad things, more terror, more worry, more pain since I became an animorph than most people deal with in a lifetime. I would have thought I could handle something like my dad moving away, 1,000 miles away. "Congratulations," I said, trying not to show any emotion. "It's what you've always wanted." My dad wasn't fooled. He knew I was upset. "It's the job, Rachel. It's the way it is. It's not like I won't see you, kids. I know it sounds like a long way and all. That's why we have jets, right?" "Yeah," I said. "That's why we have jets. I think I'll just go upstairs and do some homework now." "Wait! I need to!" my dad protested. "I didn't slam any doors. I didn't throw anything. I just left. Let him feel what it's like," I told myself. "Let him feel what it's like to have someone just walk away." I went up to my room and locked the door behind me. I couldn't breathe. I kept clenching my fist and wanting to pound something. I think I would have cried, but I was just too angry. "Rachel?" It was him. He knocked lightly on my door. "Can I come in?" I couldn't say no. It would have sounded like I was upset. "Sure, why not?" He came in. I'm guessing you're a little upset," he said. I shrugged and turned my back to him. "I see. Rachel, you didn't let me finish what I had to tell you downstairs. Rachel, Jordan and Sarah are still too young to consider this. But you're older. You can look after yourself when I have to work late. I can't. And anyway, look, the thing is, I've talked to your mother about this, and she's not happy about it, but she says it's up to you. I turned to look at him. What's up to me? He smiled uncertainly. Well, it's like this. Carla Belnikov teaches in the city I'm moving to. You know, she takes in 3 or 4 promising gymnastics students every year. Uh, if you wanted, well, it would be the best thing in the world as far as I'm concerned if you came to live with me. I almost asked him to repeat it. I couldn't believe I had heard right the first time. Students of Coach Belnikov have won 2 gold medals and a bunch of silver ones. Dad, Carla Belnikov isn't going to take me on as a student. She handles professional level gymnasts. I'm too tall and not good enough to. Besides, you're saying I should move out? Leave Mom and Sarah and Jordan? You're the only one who can decide that, my dad said. But as for Coach Belnikov, you're wrong. You have the talent. I know if that's something you want to do. If you want to make that your life, you could go places in gymnastics. I shook my head, not to say no, just to try and clear out the confusion. Dad, are you asking me to go with you when you move? Yes. I know it would be hard on you and your mom and your sisters. We could make it work. I mean, this job pays a lot of money. You could fly back here anytime you wanted, every week if you wanted. Was he serious? It sounded ridiculous. Was he actually serious? I sat down on the edge of my bed. My thoughts were everywhere all at once. Leave? Leave my mom and my sisters? This was just because my dad felt guilty. He felt bad about leaving. This was about pity. He felt sorry for me or something. And I know it would mean changing schools, he said. But gee, Rachel, I think it could be okay, you know? I mean, for one thing, they have serious mountains there. We could do some rock climbing together on weekends. Go hiking. And it's a huge sports town. I need someone to go with me to games. It would be like in the old days. Then he winked. And hey, it's a much bigger city, so think of all the shopping. No, it wasn't pity or guilt, I realized. At least not completely. I think my dad was feeling lonely. He was picturing himself lonely in the new town. Man, I said, I don't know what to say. My dad nodded his head. Don't decide now. I wouldn't want you to. Talk to your mom. And Jordan and Sarah too. You think about it, I've just missed you, sweetheart. We have fun trash talking the umpires at games, don't we? And hiking. Remember the time we got lost? Of course I remember. I said, I just have to think it over. You know? I wanted to say, Dad, you don't understand. It isn't just about Mom and Sarah and Jordan. I have a date, Dad, to go back to the Yerk pool. My friends are counting on me. See, I'm supposed to be Xena, warrior princess. I'm supposed to go back down there, down into the last place on earth I want to go. I have to think it over, I repeated. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to go now. Okay, Dad, I said. I love you, Rachel. I wish he hadn't said that. I was doing fine till he said that. And, and then the tears started. After my dad left, I talked to my mom. She said what I expected. She wanted me to stay, but it was up to me. She trusted me to think it through. Up to me. Great. I could hurt my mom and my sisters, or I could hurt my dad. Perfect. Isn't divorce fun? After I went to bed, I just lay there, staring up at the ceiling. My brain kept churning like a computer you can't turn off. Too many things to think about. My dad, my mom, and the big, huge, massive thing I didn't even want to start thinking about. My friends, the Animorphs, war against the Yerks. Finally, I knew I had to get out of there. I needed air and open spaces. The walls were just way too close around me. I climbed out of bed and opened my window all the way. I changed from the t-shirt I sleep in to the black leotard I usually wore under my clothes. My morphine outfit. I couldn't think about it anymore. I just needed some space to not think about my father. Not think about choices. Focus my mind. I concentrated. Just something to think about. Just some time to think, I told myself, as my fingers became feathers and my toes curled into talons. I guess every kid has times he wants to just get away. But I had the power to do it. I could even get away from myself. I launched myself into the night. And that's the end of that lovely chapter. Sorry, for some reason, I, I, I really felt like yawning, and that's really bad when you're trying to do something dramatic and you're like, I can't make my voice do this or that, or else I risk yawning. It's like this, depressing thing, and it's like that really depressive, meaningful lines. And it's like that is not the time for yawning. So I'm very sorry about my yawning. That's what I want to do all chapter. Just I don't know. It's like way of sleeping. I'm not really sleepy either. It's just like my body's like, you're yawning now, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this. I'm drinking lactate-free milk. I have, yeah. So it's a little more expensive, but at least I can actually drink milk again. So that is just amazing. But anyways, this chapter does deal with divorce. And myself, my parents divorced when I was like maybe 3 or 4, I think. And then my mom divorced again when I was off into college, probably like 18 or when I was like 18 or 19 years old. I'm 32 years old now, I think. Like sometimes my mind likes to go, no, you're too old. You're younger than that. So sorry. I'm like 32 years old now. And so, yeah, my mom divorced a second time when I was 18 or 19. And honestly, her second husband was yeah, I didn't like him. I had bad feelings about him. But you can't exactly tell your mom, like, hey, mom, this guy I think is a jackass and you need to break up with him. And so when I was 3 or 4, I don't really remember that divorce all that much because I was so young. And when I was 18 or 19-year-old one, I was like, eh, I was living on my college campus, so I didn't wasn't really in the nitty gritty of that either. So, and honestly, the second husband, as I said, I didn't like him. But I'm saying all that to say that I sort of get what the Rachel is going on about divorce a little bit. Although, goddamn, my dad is still friendly towards my mom, but let's this isn't the time for a dad story. And those of you who have heard me tell them before know what those are like, and no, this isn't the place to tell them, at least at this moment. But anyways, I know what Rachel is sort of going through with divorce. I do relate to her about, oh yeah, my parents aren't together anymore. I get that. And so I sort of related to her and going, isn't divorce fun? When my mom divorced her second husband, I definitely remember that being a hard divorce. And so even though the both parents are already divorced, I'm thinking of, oh yeah, even though I wasn't in the nitty gritty part of it, my mom did sort of turn to me as a shoulder to lean on. So I'm like, yeah, divorce can be really horrible at times. Like, yeah. So if you come from a home with divorced parents, if you want to comment down below with any stories you have, if you feel comfortable with them. Like, all I basically would like to know is, do you relate to Rachel's story here? I mean, I with my dad, I grew up with my mom, and I would see my dad like every other weekend. So I definitely could understand the every other weekend part. I just, none of my parents when I was living with my mom, moved like 1,000 miles away. God damn. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't relate fully to Rachel, but I do relate to this. The parents are still friendly-ish towards each other, but they're not together anymore. And I and I will say this, if dad God damn, when I was growing up, if dad came over for dinner, it would just be like the most awkward thing ever. God damn. So I can definitely relate about, yeah, Rachel's like, yeah, my dad never came over for dinner. Because yeah, that is awkward. I've been rambling. The thing is, I started this part with like, I'm going to have a clear, concise thing here, here, and here. And I'm just like, oh, here's my internal script, and I'm just going to go off, which I should never do. But anyway, sort of wrapping this part up, I will say that added to the divorce thing is the whole, oh yeah, the yerk. So it's like, this is something I do like about Animorphs, that it can be outlandish. You know, but at the same time, it can also have moments where it's really relatable because it's like, here's a divorce and here's all the things you have to worry about. And it just happens to be that one of the many things that's going through Rachel's mind is the fact that she has to worry about saving the world. It's like it does fit nice and neatly into the whole, hey, Rachel, wanna move away with me? Part without seeming like it's sticking out like a sore thumb. And now that I think about it, I should have just talked about that instead of, yay. So, what do you think about this chapter? What would you do if you were in Rachel's shoes? How would you have reacted? And generally just comment down below, start a nice nerdy conversation with me. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, and remember, no major spoilers. If you would like to talk about major spoilers, say this theory that you just love and that something in this chapter relates to it. If you want to do major spoilers and you're on YouTube, link in the description to my Tumblr Ask box. And, spoilers away. No, I am doing no major spoilers in the YouTube's comment section because I'm really hoping that other people come into the Animorphs fandom via these videos. And, there's some really good twists and turns throughout the series that you need to experience without knowing they're coming. So, if you are someone who's just happened to watch this video and like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good and I would love to have a copy of the book myself. If you are on the YouTube's link in the description, if you are on my blog link down below, and both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 7, The Stranger by K.A. Applegate. Ooh. If you are on the YouTubes, please like this video. I need attention and constant validation. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be reading every single Animorphs book. So if if you don't want to miss out on any more Animorphs content, just subscribe. And if you are watching on my blog and watching on the YouTube version of my blog now, if you're watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the followed by email option. I have no clue why I'm yawning so much right now. I'm seriously not tired. And if you do the followed by email option so you'll never miss another blog post again. And I don't just do Jash reads, I also do written posts that you might learn to love. And that's it. And hey, if you do want to continue on with this ride of Animorphs number 7, The Stranger by K. Applegate, please tune in on Monday, because on Monday, the next 2 parts of my dramatic reading of Animorphs 7 are going to come out then. So, yay! And the next segment, take your drink, alcoholic or not. I'm having a not alcoholic drink. And I'm going to finish up this graphic. Yay! So let's do that. Application window. Ta-da! Okay. And as you can see, we have actually got all the picture part done. Making sure this is live. And let's do that. Ta-da! And all we have to do left to do is do the wording. which which is always fun because I'll feel like, oh, I got the picture perfect, and now I have to do lettering and decide on the spacing. And even when I know what I'm doing, it's fucking hell. It's like, okay, what font would actually match? And then it's like, what coloring? Let's see. This is A Flame Extinguished. There's some romance, there's some, planning of finding the White Walkers. So I looked up what the font for Game of Thrones is, and I don't have it here. How to add your own fonts. As commands, here's something I should probably watch. Mac OS, Windows, start menu, font, select the font folders, find the font you want to add, then drag it onto your canvas. Search the font using the search bar in the front of BFunk. And I'm going to try that out at another time, just because that might involve me, going over steps over and over again because I'm an idiot, and we don't need to take up your lovely time, do we? No, you're watching this YouTube video, which means you probably have lots of time, but you might want to go on to other YouTube videos and you might get bored. Let's see, caviar dreams. Oh, lovely caviar. God, I'm also going to actually do some more, a little bit more of the title there, just because I'm trying to judge everything by one letter. Maybe God damn it, maybe a better person could actually do that, but I'm not a better person. I am me with all my really horrible flaws. Okay, Clarence Comforta. No. Courier New, nope. Grassroots, nope. This looks like it's some fucking horror story, and it's not a horror story, so let's not do that. Something old age-ish. And let's see, Gothic for Universal, Georgia. Sorry, I'm just remembering writing essays. G-Punk's Graduate, Hotel. That would be nice if it was a romance, but no. Let's see, HD. Impact, no. I liked Impact back in the day. I really liked it, but I haven't really been using it. Just me again down here. Okay, let's see what this one does. Damn. This isn't the color that I'm going to end up being, but it makes it so I can actually see what it is. I do like that font for it. It's a little bit like, I guess, Sinzel, but it's, I guess, a little more archaic. I'm just going to do that because I really have no clue. Let's see. I mean, I think I could go like right here, but then it's like a little mask that Daenerys is wearing. But I want to put off to the side. But the thing is, I think this will be the place I put the A, just because I wanted the towel sort of go down this way. And let's see. No. Actually, let's do the spacing first. And it seems to have kept the blue color. So let's not change it. Oh shit, why don't I just do the whole... Oh god, I just realized the number of words, and I'm an idiot, but I had this idea for the spacing, so fuck it. flame. Don't worry, I'm going to mess with the colors in a moment. Extinguished. Right. I'm an English major. I could be writing the next great American novel, and I'm doing this on the YouTubes. Yay! God damn it. Okay, let's get this. So yeah, folks, get your college degree. College degree is important, but really, god damn it. It really depends what you're going to be doing with it. Yeah, because if you're going to become broke because you're because you're pursuing a college degree, please don't become broke. You could just do this. Ta-da! Let's see if the overlay things can add to anything else. No, I don't think I'm going to really enjoy it that much. Because you see that goddamn, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see that, but you can see this A, it sort of looks cool, but it's fucking impossible to read. And now with that, the red just like sticks. Oh, wow. Now the red's gone. That looks cool, but no. So we're going to go to normal here. And okay, I think. Oh, shit. Okay, I think I did correctly. But I think those two will have two different colors because I was trying to go lighter with this one, and that wasn't really having the same effect. So let me try and do that there. Because, yeah, here that'll be much too light, so we have to make it so it's a little more on the dark side, because then you can actually see it. And that's sort of an important part of making anything. Is it legible? No? Then you need to change it so people can see what you're doing. Let's see. Okay, I'm raising that up a little because the A and me having the flame all the way sort of down near his crotch area is not good spacing in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I usually am. And usually I would, say you definitely need to move it more downward because then you'll have all this empty space down here. But the thing is, I'm going to be placing my author's name here, so that'll take care of the blanks, sort of the wider space down there. And usually I like to have my name be sort of smallish, but just so I don't, so that more space is used, I'm going to just make it bounce along its way, figuring out where it wants to fucking go on the bottom. Where do you want to go to here? Yeah, I think like right here for some reason makes me think this seems more like the title than like in right here. Maybe because for me it personally seems jarring. Plus, it's like he's pointing at it. Here's the name. Or maybe I want to make this a sort of different font. It's like Cinzel. Yes, as I said, these two fonts look similar, but they're different, and I think having them being different fonts will also help distinguish the author's name from, the actual title. A Flame Extinguished. Jashikins, yeah. Jashikins. To copy, Control C. And if you're wondering, I am double checking that I am spelling extinguished correctly. And so if someone wants to look at my history after I'm gone, it's probably going to be like 90%. Hey, did I spell this fucking piece of shit correctly? Who knows? A flame extinguished. Okay, and let's save project as cover because I do want to keep a copy of it without the wording on. That's just me. So that's that. And next episode of Jash Reads, which will air on Monday, and will be more of Animorphs #7, The Stranger by Kay Applegate. So yeah, that's when I'll work on next. If you want a suggestion of what graphic I should focus on next time, just comment down below and let me know. And until next video, goodbye.